I'm Cheri Young.
And I'm Pamela Sloan.
Now, Pamela is a regional worker here in the North East and Shetland, and she also runs some local SU groups, one at least of which has been an outdoor SU group since schools have come back. So we wanted to ask you some questions, Pamela, about what it's like to run an outdoor SU group.
Well, it's great fun. We managed to start the group just about the second week after the schools went back. And obviously it's outside, so it's very dependent on the weather. But praise God, every Thursday lunchtime we've managed to do it. The weather has been dry, sometimes even sunny, and we've had a whale of a time.
Now, how have you been allowed on the school grounds? Because most people aren't even allowed in. So how have you managed this?
Well, Cheri, I have to say I also work in the school. I'm a pupil support assistant in the school, so that's why I'm allowed in.
Okay.
So when I spoke to the head teacher, he did say yes, I could do it, but I had to do it outside to keep the class bubbles, because we couldn't do it inside because the bubbles have to be kept separate, but outside they can be together. So that's why I was allowed to do it outside.
Clever. Are there any other restrictions that you're having to work around with the group?
I prepared a risk assessment, and I prepared it along the lines of Aberdeenshire Council, which I'm familiar with because of the school I work in, and I submitted that. Head teacher was delighted with it. And the real area that I have to be careful of is touching materials and resources, so the children aren't touching things. So all the crafts and things that I would used to do, I can't do now. So it's very much focused on running around outside and having lots of fun. And it's good because it gets rid of lots of built up energy.
So give us a few tips. What are some of your top activities with this outdoor SU group?
Okay, so I always start with a game. So a game that's going to lead into the Bible story, and the resources I'm using are the 10 must-know Bible stories, which are easily accessible. Just type it into Google and you'll find it. And so for example, Daniel and the Lion's Den. Well, do you remember that old game, What's the Time, Mr. Wolf? Well, I just turned that into Daniel's in the Lion's Den. And of course, instead of the wolf, it's a lion. So you've not to get caught by the lion. But you just have to be careful that the children don't touch each other when they're trying to catch each other.
Yeah, you just keep a little risk assessment hat on while you run the group. Yeah.
And then we go into the story, and because of the material that's available, the scripts are there. So the children act out the scripts. I'll give them the words, and they get really into character and enjoy it. So we're doing all these outside plays at the moment.
Oh, lovely. And I'm sure other kids on the playground are getting to watch these as well.
Yes, they are. Yes, I think they're very interested and say, can we join in too?
Now, to wrap up with this, do you have any advice for someone who might have the opportunity? Maybe you know someone or you work at a school as well and you'd like to try an outdoor club, but you feel a little nervous about it. What's some of your advice for getting started? I
think the advice is that by all means contact me. I'd be happy to have a chat with you about it. I think make sure that the head teacher is on board with it, your risk assessment's in place, and just be ready to have lots of fun and don't worry about having to run up and down the playground.
Just jump in, right? Just
jump in.
Very good. Thanks very much, Pamela.
You're welcome.